That was his response to when gunmen abducted those schoolgirls in Borno.
In order to understand you clearly, what aspect of it do we have issue with? Is it the fact that he said, if it is true?
No. The aspect has to do with appeals. I think we should go past that. We know that we are dealing with people who don't listen. Shouldn't we employ another tactics in dealing with this? Must we appeal to people who take joy and delight in maiming, killing, and abduct people?
What do we expect him to say with just less than 2 minutes?
That means we're helpless.
No, we're not helpless. I think we need to get something. There's something we need to get right.
I think the primary thing is this. Does his statement, for you, does it inspire confidence?
In him?
No, in the situation, in the fact that, or in the idea or the knowledge that security agencies have this firmly under control.
And as him being the Minister for Police Affairs.
Don't forget that he is a political figure. He has a political appointment. I don't think he has ever had any security training whatsoever.
So you're not confident?
If you are saying, no, I'm not saying I'm not confident in him. If you are saying that we want to rate him on what he said there, I will not be worried about what the Minister for Police Affairs said. I will rather wait. No. I will rather wait to hear what the operational people are saying. The people who are actually responsible is just an administrator, signing files, approving, assessing what was brought before his table, fighting for budget to support the police. He's not an operational man. Judging by the fact that he's new at the job as well, and you have rightly said that he was selected on a political platform as opposed to being knowledgeable or experienced in that field. Now, when I was upstairs, when you were giving the earlier analysis, that you were trying to qualify the type of people,
But I didn't say that part.
You know why it is important? Because, I mean, we also know that we're not the only ones watching.
Yes.
Members of the international community will also be watching to see what our response will be. Imagine that this, got out. How good does this, what do we make of this, really?
Okay. What you are trying to say is that you want him to have a kind of a stereotype response. You want him to anticipate.
No, but in fairness, I have asked you if this statement inspires confidence for you. Obviously, it doesn't. And so you begin to reel out that, you remember he doesn't have a security background, or remember he's just a political appointee, or remember this, or remember that. I'm simply asking you, as a member of the Nigerian public, as a member of a country that is currently facing security challenges, does this statement inspire confidence?
Okay.
Whether or not he's just...
what I will try and do now is I will try and dissect the statement. The bit where he said about the Quran does not support it, we've had that again and again all over the world. It has been said. The fact where he said killing in the name of God is not acceptable and not supported and not pleasing to God. I want to say that is educative to children who are currently trying to indoctrinate other young children into. So if you ask me to take him literally on what he said, I want to rate him 2.5 over 5 in terms of confidence, in my opinion.
But you see, I will look at the comments from Sikak. He says, look, it's not just about the amount of, he says it's not about the amount of money spent. It takes intelligence and leadership. This is political leadership. We can't afford the operations people saying, well, it is those politicians. They're not giving us what we need to work. If that happens, it affects operations and it affects the fight against insurgency.
Yep.
So if you have leaders who, as you said, just administrators, they're signing files, they're not well-grounded in this matter, that's a problem.
And that's it's not a problem that can be solved in a snap of a finger.
The thing also is, should we find ourselves in that situation, given the challenge that we're faced with security in this country?
Well, it's part of governance. The first thing we need to appreciate is that we're in democracy. It wasn't like this 20 years ago. The level and the quality of democracy we have and the way it works, is it helping us? A country that is not yet up to 20 years old in democracy,
that notwithstanding,
now being faced with terrorism.
Is this the best we can afford?
the Honorable Minister for Police Affairs is not the first minister we've had. I will say it is too early to judge him. I don't think he has even had any budget to work with since he got to the office. But if I'm to base it on other ministers that I've known, we've had fantastic ministers in that field who have done some good job in the past. Do you understand? In my opinion, and I think it is too early to judge or qualify.
Don't forget that lives have been lost, whether it's too early or late.
To be honest with you, we just need to go back to the basic and say we need to first create an awareness program, which doesn't take much, which we have people within Nigeria who are ready to roll it out. I've even started running free awareness program across some schools in Nigeria, starting with my son's school, starting with some ministries, because I am concerned that, okay, I cannot single-handedly roll out or fund this type of program, but whoever I can speak to, I think I even suggested that I'm coming to run one for Channels TV, because you are also members of the public, either you like it or not, within here and outside here. So we need to go back to that. I don't want us to point. It will be very, very distracting for us to start pointing, accusing finger, blame game, or ball passing. It is not the time for that. That will be distracting. Let us go back to the basic. Let us create awareness program to let people know that we are in a mess and you have a role to play. Let us change the orientation of Nigeria.
We imagine that will happen when people who do know where they have fallen short and how they need to improve, not necessarily blame game. If you call it blame, well, who knows? All right, we'll have to let it go there. Olatunbosun Abolarinwa is a security consultant. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, then we'll return after this break. Please join us again.